Hello guys, how are you doing? In today's video we're going to be talking about how to take control of your spending habits. So let's jump right into it. If you want to take control of your spending habit, the first thing is to track every single dollar. Guys, I always say keep on tracking how you spend your money because it plays a big role when it comes to your spending habits. The moment you just sit down and track every dollar you spend on everything else, everything that you need, you're going to realize that where your money goes so much, you are going to fix on that. You're going to realize where you need to fix your spending habits. It's also going to help you realize how much money you spend in a month so that you can make necessary adjustment when it comes to your overall budget. So it's really important for you to track every single dollar. Guys, don't just track your how you spend your money. You also should put the practice of you analyzing the data that you get from your spending. Don't just track for the sake of tracking simply because it's going to fix your spending habit. If you're not using the data that you get from tracking every single dollar you spend, you're actually doing it wrong. It's not helping you anyway. So after tracking, make sure you follow every digit that you've written down so that you know where you can spend less, so that you know where you need to fix your spending, because the data that you'll write down that involves every single dollar that you spend on anything that you need is going to help you realize where you're throwing so much money, so that you can make the necessary adjustment. Either is it for you to reduce or to cut down unnecessary expenses, and this is going to control your spending habits. Before you buy anything else, ask yourself, is it a need or is it just a vibe? Before you buy something, just take a moment and ask yourself, do you really need it? Or do you just want to buy it because you feel it's a really good thing, it's a really good tote bag, and it's aesthetic, and it will look so much greater on me. It looks so much good on me. If you take a moment and ask yourself whether you really need it or it's just a vibe, that is going to control on how you're spending your money, because this is just going to give you the thought of intentionally spending. If you're someone who is thinking about the purchases that you want to make, this is actually going to prevent you from overspending, because if you just make the habit of just buying anything else or something the moment you just feel like you need it, this is going to put you on the path of you purchasing more things that you actually don't need simply because you just feel like buying it. So if there's something you want to buy, take a moment and ask yourself if you really need it, or it's just something that you want simply because you feel like it's going to be a good add in your collection. So that is something you should think about, and this is going to control your spending habits a really big time. Another great way to control your spending, to take control of your spending, is creating a fun budget that you can actually stick to. If you're finding yourself that you're not sticking to your budget, it's simply because your budget may be too tight or too unrealistic for you to follow, and it can be that it doesn't have that fun. If your budget doesn't have fun, it's going to be really hard for you to follow, because you're going to feel that you are drained, you're stressed, because every time you look at your budget, you have to spend your money on things that you aren't comfortable about, and you don't have any stash of cash that is set aside for your fun things. This is going to be so hard for you to follow. It's going to wear you out, and it's going to feel like it's a punishment. The moment your budget feel like it's a punishment, man, it's going to be really tough for you to keep up with it, and you're going to stop using it. The moment you stop using your budget, this is whereby you're going to find yourself making purchases that you don't really need. You're spending so much money on things that you really didn't account for, and this is something that is bringing you down, something that is slowing your financial goals if you're someone who's aiming to achieve that financial freedom. So create a budget that is fun, but it's realistic. That budget also has sides of fun. Make sure there's some stash of cash that is going to allow you to spend your weekend somewhere amazing, a stash of cash in your budget that is going to allow you to enjoy yourself. If you love clubbing once in a while, when your budget is actually like that, it's going to always motivate you to keep on following it. And if you keep following it, guys, you'll be making progress, because you'll have lots of more money to save, lots of more money to pay your debts, because you are controlling your spending. That is a really big part that will help you achieve your financial freedom early enough. Another way to take control of your spending habits is to unfollow temptations. If you have so many pages in your Instagram or your TikTok or maybe YouTube that are pushing you to keep on purchasing, that are tempting you to take yourself in experiences that you can't even afford, man, you have to unfollow those pages, because the more you consume the content, the more you're going to find yourself at the corner. You'll be pushed to a corner whereby you have to spend your money on things that you really don't need, and they're wasting you. They are slowing down your financial progresses. So you have to unfollow some of these pages if they're pushing you on the negative side. You are aiming, to achieve your financial freedom, and these pages are actually are doing the opposite of that. So unfollow these pages because sometimes they may be, let me say, your favorite influencer somewhere. Because you like this influencer or this woman, you're going to find yourself, okay, I need to buy a t-shirt like that one so that I can actually look like him or like her. So unfollow all the temptations, because those are going to take control of your spending habits. So if you know that there's something anywhere, it's something that you're following, something that you're consuming, it can be a content, or maybe it can be your neighbor somewhere, just steer clear out of their way. Just try to avoid these people, and follow these people, and follow those pages that keep pushing you to go on a shopping spree that you actually don't need, because that is going to help you take control of your spending habits. Another amazing way to take control of your spending habits is actually to sit on purchases. Before you go out and purchase something, sit down on it. Wait for about 24 hours before you make that purchase. If it's a really big purchase that is going to consume lots of money, give it 30 days. If it's something that's not that huge, give it maybe 24 hours. Sit down and think about it. Reflect about the purchase that you're about to make. If it's something that actually you don't need, if that feeling of you needing that thing is going to fade away after 24 hours or after 30 days, then actually you're not going to spend your money on it. So doing this is going to help you analyze deeply on your spending habits. You're going to think twice before you purchase anything, and you need this control. You need this power for you to take control of your spending habits, because if you can sit down and take a look at what you're about to purchase, and maybe you go ahead and eliminate that thought of purchasing it, you're taking control of your finance, and that is really, really great. This is something you have to do. This is something that has been helping me a lot when it comes to the purchases that I usually want to make, but at the end of the day I found out that they weren't really necessary. Another way to take control of your spending habits is actually to involve yourself in activities that don't require you to spend money. Think of activities that don't require you to spend lots of money. So this can be hiking, it can be taking yourself to the beach, just swimming, it can be hanging out with your friends, Just avoid anything that is going to push you to spend money on things that you don't need. If you're that person who is actually scrolling on Lazada or on Shopee, to look at things to buy when you are bored, you have to stop that habit. Instead of doing that, take yourself out there, take yourself to the gym, maybe go out with your friends, just hang out with them, just go and watch a movie with them, just involve yourself in activities that don't require you to spend money. So if you know that there's an activity that once you join is going to require you to spend lots of money, just avoid that. Take yourself to activities that don't require you to spend money. That's how you take control of your spending habits. Another amazing way to take control of your spending habits is to switch to cash. Guys, switch to cash. If you know that traveling with your credit is going to push you to spend more money, switch to cash. Before you go out, just withdraw the cash you need. If it's from a bank account, if it's from your card, withdraw the amount of cash that you need to spend on that day. And at the moment you have a certain amount of money withdrawn from your account, and you have just set that you're going to spend that amount of money, you're going to be really conscious. You know, you're going to be really careful on how you spend that money. You won't overspend it, because you know after that you'll run out of money and you'll be on a really tough spot. So this is a really good habit that I've been practicing a lot while traveling. You know, when traveling, especially you're going to a new destination, it's going to push you some time to buy souvenirs. And if you have your card with you, you're going to find it's convenient, so you're buying it. After there, you are regretting it. So the moment you just take out your cash and roll with that amount of cash that you have, this is going to help you. It's going to prevent you from overspending, taking control of your spending habits. So always switch to cash if you know that you're that person who finds it really hard to resist purchasing things that you really want. This is going to keep you on control. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're going to apply some of these points into your daily lifestyle so that you take control of your spending habits, because if you take control of that aspect, guys, you are likely to make your financial progresses really easily. Anyway guys, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Take care.